share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates. Thank you for visiting my channel. It is my pleasure to help you with your lessons in mathematics. Ngayon ay pag-uusapan natin ang tungkol sa mga uri ng proportion. Your knowledge about the concept of ratio and proportion is necessary in our topic today. So kung hindi mo pa napapanood yung video ko tungkol sa ratio and proportion, you can check it out by clicking the card up there or by clicking the link in the description box below. Proportion has three different types: the direct proportion, inverse or indirect proportion, and the partitive proportion. Iisa-isahin natin yon, pero for this video ay pag-uusapan muna natin yung first type, which is the direct proportion. So, let's start! Direct proportion. In a direct proportion, an increase to a quantity results to an increase in another quantity, and the decrease in one quantity results to a decrease in another quantity. Then, the two quantities are directly proportional to each other. So, paano yon? Let's have an illustration. Example, we have quantity A and quantity B. In a direct proportion, an increase in one quantity will result to an increase in another quantity. Ibig sabihin, kung si quantity A ay madadagdagan, ganun din ang mangyayari kay quantity B. And the decrease in one quantity will result to a decrease in another quantity. Ibig sabihin, kung si quantity A ay mababawasan, ganun din naman ang mangyayari kay quantity B, siya din ay mababawasan. Kaya naman, sila ay tinatawag na directly proportional to each other. Dahil kung ano ang nangyayari kay quantity A, ganun din ang nangyayari kay quantity B. Tingnan natin ang iba't ibang halimbawa ng sitwasyon kung saan nagagamit natin ang direct proportion. Example, kilos of bananas to cost. Halimbawang ikaw ay bumili ng 1 kilong saging na nagkakahalaga ng 30 pesos at kung bibili ka naman ng 2 kilong saging, ang babayaran mo na ay 60 pesos. Yung una nating quantity, which is yung banana, ay nadoble mula sa 1 kilo ay naging 2 kilo. Kaya naman yung ating pangalawang quantity, which is yung 30 pesos, ay madadoble din at magiging 60 pesos. Example number 2, score to rating. Halimbawa, in your 10-item quiz, kung ang nakuha mong score ay 10, which is perfect score, ang rating mo ay 100%. Kung ang nakuha mo naman ay 7, ang rating mo ay 70%. Ibig sabihin, kung mataas ang iyong score, mataas din ang iyong rating. At kung mababa naman ang iyong score, ay mababa din ang iyong rating. Let's have more examples. Your body size to the size of your uniform. So habang lumalaki ka, lumalaki din ang size ng uniform na kailangan mo. Next, distance traveled to the amount of your fare. Kung ikaw ay mamamasahe, kapag mas malayong lugar ang iyong pupuntahan, ay mas mahal ang ibabayad mong pamasahe. Kung mas malapit naman ang iyong pupuntahan, ay mas mura ang ibabayad mong pamasahe. Now, let us try to answer some word problems involving direct proportion. Problem 1. 2 buses can transport 130 people. How many buses are needed to transport 780 people? At para masolve natin ang ating problem about the direct proportion, we have to follow these 2 steps. First is set up the proportion. Second, find the missing term in a proportion. Paano ba mag-set up ng proportion? Okay, ang kailangan lang natin gawin ay alamin natin kung ano yung dalawang quantity na pinako-compare o nabanggit dun sa ating problem. In our problem number 1, ay ang dalawang quantity na nabanggit doon ay ang bus at ang people. Ang ating ratio ay bus to people equals, of course, dahil ito ay proportion, lagyan din natin sa kabila ng bus to people. And then, palitan na natin yung value ng bus. So, sa unang ratio natin, bilang ng bus natin ay 2, and then ang bilang ng people ay 130. Sa kabila naman, dahil hindi pa natin alam yung value ng bus, ilagay muna natin ay letter B. And then, yung people naman ay 780. Ngayon ay mayroon na tayong proportion. 2 is to 130 equals B is to 780. Now we will proceed to step 2, which is finding the missing term in a proportion. Ngayon na isolve na natin ang ating problem gamit yung proportion na na-set up natin. Okay, so ang ating proportion ay 2:130 equals B is to 780. Gagamitin natin dito yung ating knowledge in finding the missing term. And the missing term is B, or the number of buses that can transport 780 people. Okay, let's start. So we are going to multiply the extremes and the means. Let us multiply the extremes. So we have 2 times 780 equals 130 times B. 2 times 780, let's have a scratch. So we have 780 times 2. 2 times 0 equals 0. 2 times 8 equals 16. Carry 1. 2 times 7 equals 14 plus 1 equals 15. Therefore, our answer is 1,560. Balik na tayo dun sa ating sinusolve. So, 2 times 780 equals 1,560. Equals 130 times B equals 130B. Our goal is to find the missing term, which is B. Kaya naman, i-divide natin sa 130B kay 130 para si B na lang yung matira. At i-divide din natin si 1,560 kay 130. So, 130B divided by 130, cancel na natin si 130. So, we have 1,560 divided by 130. Ang ating divisor ay 130, so tatlo yung kanyang digits. Kaya try muna natin kumuha ng tatlong digits sa ating dividend. So, we're going to divide 156 divided by 130. And our answer is 1. 130 times 1 equals 130. So, 156 minus 130, i-minus na natin. 6 minus 0 equals 6. And 5 minus 3 equals 2. So, bring down 0. 260 divided by 130. Ilan kayang 130 mayroon sa 260? And I think that is 2. Because 130 times 2 equals 260. 260 minus 260. So, wala na yan. Therefore, our answer is 12. So, balik na tayo dun sa ating sinusolve. 130B divided by 130, ang natira na lang dyan ay B. And 1,560 divided by 130, our answer is 12. Therefore, our answer is 12. Therefore, in our problem number 1, if 2 buses can transport 130 people, there will be 12 buses needed to transport 780 people. Let's proceed to our next example. Problem 2. The ratio of two numbers is 3:5. The larger number is 30. What is the smaller number? Let's solve this problem following our steps. First is set up the proportion. To set up our proportion, alamin muna natin kung ano yung dalawang quantity sa ating problem. So we have the smaller number and larger number. Isulat na natin. So we have smaller is to larger equals smaller is to larger. The value of smaller number is 3 and the larger number naman is 5. Then sa kabila naman, ang hinahanap ay ang smaller number, so ang ilalagay lang natin ay S. And the value of the larger number is 30. So we already set up the proportion. 3:5 equals S is to 30. Ngayon ay pwede na tayong mag-proceed sa step 2. Find the missing term in a proportion. Let's solve now our problem by finding the missing term in our proportion. So our first ratio is the smaller to larger number. We have 3:5. And the second ratio, nawawala yung smaller number doon. Kaya naman ang ginamit muna natin ay S. And the larger number is 30. Let's now solve it by multiplying the extremes and the means. So let's multiply 3 times 30 equals 5 times S. 3 times 30, that is 90. equals 5 times S equals 5S. Para makuha natin ang value ng S, i-divide natin si 5S kay 5 at ganun din naman si 90 kay 5. We have 5S divided by 5, i-cancel na natin si 5. Then 90 divided by 5, let's have a scratch. So we have 90 divided by 5. Dahil single digit lang yung ating i-divide, so unahin na muna natin si 9. 9 divided by 5 equals 1. 1 times 5 equals 5. And 9 minus 5 equals 4. Bring down 0. 40 divided by 5, that is 8. And 8 times 5 equals 40. 40 minus 40, so wala na yon. So our answer is 18. Balik na tayo sa ating sinusolve. So 90 divided by 5, so ang nakuha natin dyan ay 18. Equals 5S divided by 5, ang natira na lang dyan ay S. Ibig sabihin, ang ating smaller number ay 18. Kung i-analyze natin ang ating problem, so we have the ratio of the smaller number to larger number is 3:5. Then, ibinigay ang value ng larger number which is 30. At ang hahanapin natin ay ang value ng smaller number. Kung mapapansin natin, ang ating larger number na 5 ay naging 30. Ibig sabihin, ito ay nadagdagan ng 6 na beses or times 6. Ibig sabihin, ganun din ang mangyayari sa ating smaller number na 3. Dadagdagan ito ng 6 na beses, so times 6. That's why, ang ating sagot ay 18. Moving on to our problem number 3. The exchange rate of peso to a dollar in November 2021 is 50 pesos and 33 centavos to $1. How much will you get for $6.50? Let's solve! First, let's set up the proportion. Ang dalawang quantity ay ang peso at dollar. So for our proportion, peso is to dollar equals peso is to dollar. I-substitute na natin ang ating given sa ating proportion. Sa ating unang ratio, ang value ng peso ay 50 pesos and 33 centavos is to $1. Sa kabilang ratio naman ay hinahanap natin ang value ng peso, kaya ilalagay muna natin ay letter P is to $6.50. Step 2, find the missing term. all for our lesson about direct proportion. I hope na marami tayong natutunan sa ating aralin. Kung nagustuhan mo ang video na to, you can click the like button. You can also share it with your friends, sa mga kaklase, at sa mga kakilala mo na alam mo rin naman na gustong matuto sa math. Muli, ito si Ma'am Jovie at samahan niyo kong sabihin, I love math!